800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. Oh, look, it's Michael Netter on the line. Mike Netter, of course, very influential in the first recall of Gavin Newsom that we voted on during the whole COVID-19 crisis. A familiar voice here in the state of California on all issues regarding California politics. Mike, welcome.
Great to be on with you guys today. I felt obligated to call in as one of the main proponents of the one that made the ballot to help everybody out there correct a little bit of information that's running around about the current recall of Gavin Newsom, because the code, John Phillips and Randy Wang, has changed. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't as boring as I am. I can't even afford to stay in a hotel room in Los Angeles apparently anymore, so I stay home and read election code. Fair enough? All right? So let's clear up a couple things. If this recall were to qualify, it qualifies September 30th. Then the Secretary of State has 60 days to re-verify all the signatures. Then there is a 30-day window where Gavin can get signatures withdrawn. And I'm proud to say in our recall, he had 47, not 47,000, but a mere 47 that got withdrawn out of 2.3 million signatures. Then the Finance Department jumps in and bangs around for 30 days and decides how much it's going to cost. And at that point, for those of you not good at math, it's about February. And then the Secretary of State, under the new code, if that election falls within 180 days, that's 6 months keeping score at home of a regular election that's on the same ballot. What does this mean, boys and girls? It means this, that if this qualifies, unfortunately, it puts it on the ballot with no ifs, ands, or buts in the primary when Gavin isn't even running in 2026. So with all due deference to Mel Gibson, the reality is Gavin would end up serving a big chunk of 2026 and have 6 months to raise unlimited money, which unfortunately you're speaking to the guy that helped him fund his whatever he calls Save America PAC, because that's leftover recall money. So no one hates Gavin more than I do, and I'm not that fond of Dracula, but I just want to clear up out there that people even running the current recall need to check the code. The code has changed. It's not effective January 2026. It was actually effective January 2024. And Randy Wang, I emailed over to you at Johnny Don't Like, my favorite handle in the business, the code so you can check it out for yourself.
Now, question, because a caller called in, and I think you alluded to the answer, so we'll just go ahead and make it clear right now. A caller called in and said, okay, let's say he has the unlimited ability to raise money, and he doesn't need to spend all of it in the recall. Could he use that money nationwide to promote himself before the upcoming presidential campaign? Maybe not saying vote for Gavin Newsom for president, but just promoting Gavin Newsom on abortion or promoting Gavin Newsom on climate change or whatever the case may be. Can he use that money to promote himself?
John Phillips, I am sorry to inform you that all those annoying emails you get from Gavin Newsom now and the annoying videos he makes with the background of Ukraine are the fault of Orrin Heatley and Mike Netter, because, yes, he can. He transfers that money to his Save America PAC, and although not doing it as the governor of California, he does that as Gavin Newsom, head of the Save America PAC, and indeed can transfer some of that money, I'm sorry to cuss on the radio, to Act Blue, okay, which is another, let's leave it alone, you know who Act Blue is. So he is able to transfer that money. Technically, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I got news for you. The FEC is not coming after Gavin, and if they do, out of his $20 million he has in the bank, it's a maximum $100,000 fine, which is like me buying you a Starbucks next time I see you.
Okay, one more question. We talk about how Gavin Newsom's job at this point as a lame duck governor who has larger aspirations, as a man who wants to be president but is finding it very difficult to remain relevant because he's not going to be a candidate for office. His name will not be appearing on the ballot in 2026, and it's easy to get lost in all of the noise. After the recall qualified for the ballot, how often would you guys get hit up by people in the press wanting to write about it, wanting to talk about it on the radio, wanting to talk about it on television, wanting to do something on social media or the internet. In terms of the attention that it generated, how big of a monster was it?
A very big monster, but it was a monster because of the timing of it, because it fell during 2021, a little bit of planning there, which happened to be an off-election cycle. So the political people didn't have a heck of a lot to write about in 2021 and moving into the beginning of 2022. Plus we got a lot of attention, as you know, because we kind of broke the ceiling, if you will, on what grassroots could do. And look, I've said this before, it's the biggest initiative in American history. You can look it up, second only in the world to Brexit. And it was actually the biggest volunteer effort, with all due deference to my friends at Prop 36 in California's history. It was lightning in a bottle with the timing is right. What I do not want to do is bring more attention to Gavin Newsom so he can keep his persona up around the country in a year when he's not actually on the ballot. Fair enough?
Mike Netter, thank you so much for stopping by and clearing everything up. If people want to follow you on X, how can they do that?
They can follow me at Netter Mike. Go to LinkedIn because I have about 22 jobs, and go to Rebuild California on Facebook. We still have a group per county with about 180,000 members, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon and maybe being in studio.
All right. Well, have a great holiday weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.